Thank you, Sayālay. I'm ready, Sayālay.
First of all, I would like to express a warm welcome to the new batch of yogis who start to join the retreat today. It is a great opportunity to have this chance to join the meditation. Yogis are going to practice, they have been practicing Satipatthana meditation that the Buddha had taught. So Buddha himself practiced the Satipatthana meditation, attained the omniscient knowledge, and taught the way to practice so that all the beings could be liberated and attain Nibbana. 45 years that the Gautama Buddha taught. So all these teachings can be summarized into a single word, Appamāda. And just before the Buddha attained the Parinibbana, among the last words, the most important or the main fact, the main gist is Appamādena Sampadeta, meaning Buddha urged the beings to accomplish Sila training, Samadhi training, Panya training with Appamāda, mindful. So this Appamādena Sampadeta, the commentary explained as Sati Abvipavasena Sabbakichani Sampadeyata. So Appamāda is explained or defined in the commentary as Sati Abvipavasena. Sati Abvipavasena means not lacking mindfulness. And Sabbakichani means all the tasks. Sampadeyata means accomplish all the tasks by not lacking mindfulness. So what it means here by all the tasks is that the tasks that should be done till one attains Arahata Magga Phala, until one attains the fourth path and fruition knowledge. So all the tasks that takes till attaining fourth path and fruition knowledge. So in brief, these tasks include Sila, morality, Samadhi, concentration, and Panya, wisdom. Although it is said 3, but these tasks should be practiced till the end, till the attainment of the highest path and fruition knowledge. So it is widespread, it is enormous task that beings have to practice by not lacking mindfulness. When carrying out tasks, one needs the help of instruments, appliances in order to make the task. For example, if one is going to cut a tree, one will need the instrument or the appliance such as axe or a saw in order to cut the tree. In the same way, when doing the task of fulfilling Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, one needs to have this instrument or appliance of Appamāda. Yogis who are here in this retreat, they have already taken up the precepts. Yeah? At home, they have to practice the 5 precepts. Here in the meditation center, in order to practice the high-level Satipatthana practice, it is most suitable to be practicing the 8 or 9 precepts. So while observing the morality, while observing the precepts, there needs to be Appamāda in order to fulfill. For example, no killing, one should be mindful, one should not lack mindfulness, so that like when you see ants in your room, not to deliberately step on them, or when mosquito come, not to deliberately step on it. So it takes mindfulness so as not to deliberately cause any harm to these insects when you come across them. And in the 8 precepts or 9 precepts, while the yogi is here in retreat, one takes the precept of not taking food in the afternoon. So afternoon, yogis can freely drink water or fruit juice. Fruit juice is allowable. Then fruit juice without pulp, it is allowable. But yogis should not be taking chocolate or toffee or any other sort. Taking fruit candy without milk is allowable. So in this way, yogis should have Appamāda to observe this precept of not taking improper food after noon till the next morning dawn. Just as Appamāda is needed in order to fulfill the sila, Appamāda is needed to fulfill samadhi and panya. So here in the meditation retreat, yogis have to practice the 4 kinds of satipatthana, Kāyanupassana satipatthana, to be mindful of whatever the bodily action that arises at the present moment. In the sitting meditation, one sitting cross-legged, the upper body upright, keeping the body not too stiff, not too relaxed, closing the eyes, breathing normally, one's focus of attention on the abdomen. When the abdomen rises, noting rising. When the abdomen falls, noting falling. It is Kāyanupassana satipatthana. In the word anupassana, anu means repeatedly, again and again. Passana means to observe. So it is not enough just to note rising once, but one should be mindful. Every time the abdomen rises, note it as rising. Every time the abdomen falls, note it as falling. In this way, every time the abdomen rises and falls, yogi repeatedly note as rising, falling, rising, falling. If the rising falling is not clear, you can put your hand on the abdomen and note rising falling. So do not alter the way of your breathing. Do not take deep breaths or do not keep it slow. Just keep the breathing normal. And if rising falling not clear, you can put your hand on the abdomen and note rising falling. For most of the yogi, rising falling is obvious. So there is the rule in the Vipassana. Jatapakata Vipassana Biniveso, meaning one should observe the object that is most obvious. So for most people, rising falling is the most obvious. In our body, the four elements are the most obvious: the air element, the temperature element, earth element, and the water element. Among these elements, the air element is the most obvious. So rising, falling, in the rising, falling, the air element is the most obvious. So in this way, one knows rising, falling of the abdomen as the primary object. But for some yogis, if they have been practicing other methods before, if they get mixed up with the rising, falling, and the nostrils, if they get mixed up, they can note sitting, touching as the primary object. Sitting, keep the awareness on the body, the whole body as a whole sitting, touching the buttock and the cushion, touching as touching, sitting, the two hands touching as touching. So in this way, one can note sitting, touching, alternate touchings, the buttock cushion touching and the hand touching alternately, sitting, touching, sitting, touching. Sitting, touching, it is also Kaya Nupassana Satipatthana. And when yogi is noting rising, falling, or sitting, touching, after some time, pain might arise in some part of the body. When pain arises, that comes obvious. Yogi focuses where the pain is and note it as pain, 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 and watch what happened, whether the pain disappear, increase or decrease. By noting pain, pain, after the pain disappear, you can go back to the primary object, rising, falling, or sitting, touching. So whatever feelings and sensations that arise, if it is pain, note it as pain. If it is comfortable, note it as comfortable. If in the mind arises happiness, note it as happy. If sadness arises, note it as sad. So in this way, whatever feeling and sensations arise, whether in the body or the mind, whether it is good or bad or neutral, be mindful of these feelings and sensations, good, bad, and neutral, whether arising in the mind or the body. It is Vedana Nupassana Satipatthana. And at times, the mind wanders. So if you notice the wandering mind is also an object to be noted. So if you get distracted by this thought, note it as thinking, thinking, thinking. and watch what happened, whether they disappear. After the thought disappear, go back to rising, falling, or the sitting, touching. At times, while noting rising, falling, sitting, touching, a planning might arise in the mind. If this planning distracts the mind away, note it planning, 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 and then go back to rising, falling, or sitting, touching. So in this way, when thoughts, plannings arise in the mind, note it as it is. It is Citta-nupassana, Satipatthana. And at times, while yogi is doing sitting meditation, at times when mental images arises, yogi should note it as seeing, seeing, seeing. At times, when the mind gets distracted by a noise, yogi should note hearing, hearing few times, and then go back to rising, falling, or sitting, touching. Or other objects, such as if desire arises, note it as desire, desire, desire. Or if anger arises, note that angry, angry, angry. If there is boredom, note it as bored, bored, bored. If sleepiness arises, note it as sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. It is Dhammanupassana Satipatthana. Note, observe as it is, and then come back to the primary object, rising, falling, or sitting, touching. In the walking meditation, yogis keeping the body straight, the head straight, only the eyes down, looking about 6 feet ahead of where one is going. Not only in the walking meditation, but when one is going from one place to another, as a yogi, should always keep the eyes down, looking only 6 feet ahead of where they are going, so that they won't get distracted by what they see. Keeping the eyes down is only so that one doesn't step on anything or one doesn't fall, but don't pay attention to what you see. In the walking, please pay attention on the foot that is making the step. So in the walking, the main focus of attention is on the foot that is making the step. During the walking meditation, for the first part, yogi note one step walking, right, left, right, left. And when the yogi come to the end of the lane, while the yogi stop, in the standing position, keep the awareness on the whole body, standing, note it standing, standing, standing. And then the intention to turn as wanting to turn, wanting to turn, wanting to turn. When you turn your body, keep the awareness on the whole body turning. Note it as turning, 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 turning. And then you walk again. When you walk, keep the mind on the foot that is doing the step, right, left, right, left. And when the mind calms down, after noting right, left for some minutes, after the mind calms down, slow down the step and do 2-step walking, lifting, placing, lifting, placing. And then, after the mind calms down more, do slower walking, lifting, moving, placing, the 3-step walking, lifting, moving, placing. Only after you have fully placed and pressed the foot, then you lift the other, lifting, moving, placing. And after you finish walking meditation, keep the continuity of mindfulness. When you walk back to the sitting place, be mindful of all the steps. And when you reach the sitting place, the standing, be mindful. Wanting to sit, be mindful. Sitting, don't do abruptly, quickly. Sit inch by inch, slowly, mindfully, paying attention to the body, getting heavier and heavier, sitting, sitting, sitting. And arranging of all the hands, the feet, move one thing at once so that you'll be able to note these movements. Move one hand at a time, move one leg at a time. And being bowed down also, be mindful so that the mindfulness and concentration would be carried till the sitting. And after you sit, starting from the primary object, you start to note rising, falling, or sitting, touching. So in this way, the continuity of mindfulness is important. Yogis should make the effort to keep the mindfulness continuous, one after another, moment by moment. Also, during the daily activities, be mindful of every movement, opening and closing of the door, bending, stretching of your hand. Be mindful. As a yogi, from the moment one wakes up until one falls asleep at night, during the whole day, one should be mindful of whatever object that is arising at the present moment. Through this practice of Satipatthana meditation, all the Buddha had attained the 4th path and fruition knowledge, as well as the omniscient knowledge. All the arahats have attained the 4th path and knowledge through this practice of Satipatthana meditation. So this is the path that all the Buddha, the Arahat, all the Ariya had practiced. And Satipatthana meditation can give benefits such as purifying the mind, overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, getting rid of physical pain, mental distress, attaining the path knowledge, and to attain Nibbana. So in this way, these benefits of Satipatthana meditation will surely be attained through this practice. So one should have faith and confidence in the practice. One should have faith and confidence in the Buddha who gave the way to practice the Dhamma, the teachings, especially to have faith and confidence in this meditation practice, that it can give benefits such as purification of the mind and so on. Understanding the benefits, having faith and confidence in the practice, one should have the strong will in order to gain benefit and to make the effort in the practice so as to gain such benefit of practice. Buddha said, Citta sankilesa bhikkhave satta sankilesanti. Citta vodana satta visujanti. meaning that because of the mental pollutants, mental impurities such as raga, dosa, moha, beings are polluted and impure. Citta vodana satta visujanti. When the mind is pure, beings get purified. So the defilements such as raga, dosa, moha, greed, anger, delusion, as well as other defilements, these impurities make the being polluted and impure. And when these defilements are present, they cause suffering. 100% of sufferings are caused by defilements, these mental impurities. So in order to purify oneself, one should get rid of these mental impurities, mental pollutants. Satipatthana meditation is the way to get rid of these mental pollutants and get purified. These defilements, mental impurities are directly proportionate to sufferings. If there are a lot of mental impurities, there'll be a lot of suffering. If there are less defilement, less impurities, there will be less suffering. And when no defilement, no mental impurities, then no suffering. All the suffering will come to an end when all these defilements are removed to the point of no return. So anyone who doesn't want suffering, one needs to remove these defilements, remove these mental impurities. That is, one should remove these defilements through the practice of Satipatthana to end all the suffering. Time is up. May we all be able to practice smoothly so that we'll be able to weaken the defilements so that there will be less suffering till we can totally uproot all the defilements and put an end to all sufferings.
Sadhu, sadhu.